Maranatha Masala. Nisho kahle ne? The first time, surprisingly. Okay. Asiyisho ke the second time. Ngiyayithanda le side leli. Ne? Le side leli libuya ku lunch. And belenzani? Belenza so. Ne? Manenza kanjalo kwenzakalani? Amen. Ne? That's health. Ne? It's not tricky, but that's health. Ne? Okay. Hlatshwayo. Dr. Maseko. Mara me fanele si change ne? Ngathi fanele kube Dr. Hlatshwayo manje. Okay, yeah. Hlatshwayo uvumele phezulu, all right. Welcome to the afternoon program. I'm not a speaker, I'm a teacher. So we all talk. Ne? So we all participate. Because mangahlala, ngenzi presentation yethu, academic, you will get lost. Ne? So I will try and not use ama gama angat. And the presentation, if you can look at it, it's just photos. Ne? So don't stress. It's just photos, but I'll try and teach as much as I can, and we can teach each other. Ne? Ingabi one-sided, right? So asiqaleni ke. Why do we need the langale health and temperance? Do we need it? Yes. Ngiyakhombana ke. Maye. Do we need it? Yes. Why? Why? Can I have a hand? Kuma pathfinder uveli nje bom. You raise your hand and then you talk. Well, the pathfinders will stand up when they talk and they face the church, but awagogo ne? Okay. Ngqala kuphi? Abuba nama healthcare workers. Angifuni baskopise. Manesi, abo doctor. Okay, asimkhombi kakhulu. Why do we need it?
Okay, siyafundiswa le. Sizama ukwenza. Kodwa ngokuya ixesha lihamba. Ezinye izinto zambe sisiwe endleleni sizilibala. So siyayinida ukwenza into bana iphinde isivuselele isikhumbuzo.
Okay. I love that. Ne? Ma 10 commandments khona leyo sifo uNkulunkulu uthi remember. Ne? Not because people didn't know, but it's because we forget. Ne? So we need that. Ukuthi kancane sithi usahamba endleleni right now. So that's why we are having this. Okay. And it's such a privilege to be an Adventist. Angazi oriniyai appreciate leyo or not. Ne? I am standing here today. Really, I thank God. Uguti, this was what I was given from, I'm the what generation, third or fourth generation, not sure. Ne? Uguti from my grandparents, and they gave us that. Because you are standing, you are able to stand in front of the church, look at them, present. It's because of what? Ne? When you go to university, you are able to stand amongst my peers, my peer pressures, and what? Because of what? Of the church, of God, of what He has given us in this partition. So it's not only about just umzimba. Ne? So our church is holistic. And medicine is holistic. But we think it's not. It's holistic, and the church is holistic. And guys, youth, let's appreciate that. You are not just this body, angithi, but you are what? That triangle. Abayibeki kahle ke lana bayathanda ne? Because yabona bazobeka social babeke in kuba ngathi iso, but it's actually a triangle. At the top is who? At the top of the triangle is God. Akukho lasingaya khona phandle kwaNkulunkulu. Mase umzimba ufaila, mase your mental state ifaila, when everything else is just failing, there's what? There's God. So eqaleni there's God. Phakathi nendawo there's God. Everywhere else there's God. We mustn't ever forget that. Right? So that's our triangle. So there's God, and then bese kuba the physical, bese kuba the what? The mental, or the emotional, the social, yangena konke lapho ne? All right. So let's look at the beginning. Let's open our verses, go Genesis. Ne? Let's just go back. I think when we start at the beginning, we have an idea why certain things are the way they are. So, beginning here to tell ubani it's God. Ne? And then, what day one, what did God create? Young people. Ha! This is creation. Let's go to Genesis 1. It's on Kopisa. Ne? In the beginning was what? In the beginning was God. Ne? Now God is creating. The earth was void, begunjani, and then, but he started creating. And what did he create? He created light. Yesterday, Utando was telling us about light. We say light, yes, there's light, but it's interesting. There's more to the light than just boom, kwavele kwakhanya. I won't put you on the spot. Ne? She talks about light and she's excited about light. Okay. And then day 2, what did God create? Firmament, ne? The sky. Ne? The waters above and the waters below, right? That's day 2. Day 3? Then he separated the waters. Ne? And then kwaba nani futhi? When he separated the waters, kwaba nani? The earth. Ne? Umhlabathi. And then umhlabathi kwaba khona ini? Ehe. Ne? The fruits, the what, you name it. Ne? Askis, how many minutes do I have? So that maybe ngathatha isikhathi kakhulu. Timekeeper? 3:15 manje. 4, sibe right. 4:30. 4:30. Okay. All right. And then, sigu day ban manje. Okay, day 4. Day 4, what happened? Day 4, what happened? Nibhekile amabhayibheli wenu. The sun, moon, and stars. Siyadlula nje nangithi. But you know ukuthi the sun and the what ziyenza ukuthi kube khona ama seasons, zenza khona kube in. So there's order when it comes to God, ne? Okay. And then bese again on the 5th day, what happened? Siqedile nge4 ngithi. Yes. So now the sea seyibanani nezilwane. And then bese kuba khona nani? The birds, right? All right. And then bese ke sesiya ku day bani loyo? Siya ku day 6. What happened ku day 6? Day 6 kwenzakaleni seniyangiroba manje. Ilwane, the cattle, the what, ne? And then afterwards he made what? So eating, save the best for last. Ne? So he made us in his image, so we can be like him, right? Ama animals awana conscience, ama animals awana ini, but God gave us what? The brain to be able to think, to be able to make a choice. That's where we are at. Ne? We are intelligent beings. That you must know. You look at yourself in the morning, uba intentional about your life. Life ayiveli nje ibe boom sengivele ngabangaka. There are preparations ezenzakalayo. So choice, an intelligent being. So we are talking about us, our bodies, right? Is there a thingy enomzimba? Ne? So this is, in a nutshell, umzimba muhle. I don't know how to even begin, and they are still learning even now. Ne? We are still learning each and every day. It's just something amazing. uNkulunkulu ayenzile. Le, it's just kancane. Right? We have this outer part, and then we have phakathi wekhanda khona ini? The brain. Yay, I hear small voices. I think we've been neglecting them. Ne? Kids, are you here? Okay. Where is the brain? Where's the brain? Inside your head, right? So this is the brain. Ne? Hey, bayithanda ke this. Yini lela? Ila. Yini? Okay, right. Mara bengasho yona, but right, ne? Because you can have your esophagus la, you can have okay, phambili is your trachea, windpipe. And then bese esophagus bese bakuphi emuva, but I was talking about the thyroid. I think ngibhekele. Yebona, so ngase ngithi thyroid. So this is the body. Right? It's you can say maybe anatomy or something. But we've got other things. We've got physiology. We've got a whole lot of things that you can mangathatha le part le sithi siyayikhuluma ngayo. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing what God has done. Right? Okay. So in a nutshell, this is the human body. So when I have an audience like this, I'm thinking, what do I talk about? I'm thinking here diabetes, hypertension. I'm thinking here lapayana, maybe peer pressure. So I'm trying to balance, but we'll see. We'll see what we talk about. So let's talk about now health. We have this human body, but this human body needs to be healthy. Right? So what is health? What is health? I think ekseni they said something, ne? But manje ngifuna sikhulume ama definition akuphi kuphi. Ngifuna sibuyeni so that you understand and you know what we are talking about. So what is health? What is health? Come on. Okay, ukuphila kahle uzilinganele. I love that. Mami? Okay. It's physically, mentally well-being of a person. Ne? Nimzwile ne? Okay, so we'll try and sihlanganise konke. Yes, Baba.
Health is all this has functioning.
Yeah. In one body. So they all work together. Ne? So that kube ne balance nyana in your body. Ne? Okay. I think I saw a hand there. Young people, health. My favorite people, health. Yini health. Okay, so let's try and say, so you balance. You balance of your physical, of your emotional, and of your spiritual. Ne? That's health. So kona ini balance. So scale sakho as TP la khona physically you are fit. Wenza malontuzana ingakhi. Konje wenza ingakhi? Ayingakhi? Hayi bekele. I 100 and what wenza wona. You are. Uyayibona? And then now emotionally you are a mess. You are aggressive. You are whatever. There's no balance. That's not health. Ne? Or maybe you are not aggressive, right? You are serving the community. We are humble, uenzani, but you don't read your Bible. You don't have a relationship with God. Are we balanced? We are not balanced. No? So health is about a balance of all those things, right? It's about you being able to do the things you are supposed to do. Ne? So health mawibheka angeke ibe the same for her, for me, for umama. Ne? You have your own measures, but you must be fully equipped, or you must be able to achieve what you are meant to achieve at this age. Whether it be spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, whichever one. Ne? So if you are a 1-year-old and you are not able to talk, you are not reaching your milestones. There's something happening somewhere. Ne? You are a 12-year-old, maybe grade 1. There's something happening there. Ne? You are my age, usama phambili usathi Genesis 1 verse 1. Usadlibisi. It doesn't make sense. Right? So you need to look at yourself and say, where am I? What are my milestones? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I achieving that? Am I reaching that? Ne? I'm talking about socially. I'm talking about academic. Ne? And remember, academic, we are not all doctors. Ne? But we all have our own things that we need to achieve. And don't ubheke your excellence ngomunye umuntu ukuthi makasona nami ngifuna uba so. It doesn't work like that. You have your own journey that you need to travel. Ne? So that you achieve izinto ekufanele uzachieve. Ne? So you must reach your most optimal state, right? And you must be most efficient in whatever okuyo, right? All right. Ngizodlula khona ama definition of mental health nani ngiyadlula lapho. JB, can I have this diagram? Okay, maybe before the diagram, let's have this one. Let's have this one. So I tried looking into the commonest diseases that we have. We don't have recent ones. And the different sites, zikhuluma different ones, depending kuthi kuphi. WHO ineyayo and nama regions anawawo, but I took this one because this is ours. So this was published in 2021. That's the latest, in 2018. Ne? So the commonest causes of death. TB, ibali TB number 1. Neyazi TB? Is it curable?
Yes.
Why are we dying from it? Ne? Azdlule. Diabetes. Is it manageable?
Yes, it is manageable.
Is it curable?
No.
It's not curable. Ngiyadlula. Okay. Ziyashiwo ne? Cerebrovascular disease, heart disease, HIV, hypertensive disease, influenza, pneumonia, ischemic heart disease, ezinye ziya overlap la.
Yes.
Ne? And then bese something with the lungs, right? So we have in number 1 currently, there was a presentation we did. Number 1 here is obesity. It's no longer TB. So obesity, it was a symptom or a sign, but it's not. It has become a disease. So now, yes, ukunona, overweight. So now kulapha kuphi, laphayana phezulu. All right. So we have an idea ukuthi kwenzakalani ne? All right, so let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. So this is our body, right? This is the body. Khona waziyo ukuthi yini lokhu oku red. Sometimes kuba red and blue ne? I think this photo iyenze red. Yini, what is that? What is that? What is that? And it's all over, neighbor. Ilapha engqondweni ikuphi and it's all over. What is that? Ama veins, ne? Okay. My blue sits ama veins, my red sits ama arteries, ne? But it's your blood supply, ne? So your blood supply, ama veins or ama arteries wako, they supply all the organs in your body. Mangithi everything. From the covering, which is the skin, right inside. Your blood carries what? Who knows? Oxygen. And what else? Nutrients. Ne? So, ama nutrients enzani? So we've got these vessels as they carry oxygen and nutrients for to feed the body. Ne? So, masiti in the morning, we eat to live. We do not live to eat. Yes. Ne? Yes. So you eat so that when you eat your food, yenzakalani, izohamba ngalama arteries and reach the organs that need those nutrients so that they can function properly. Ne understand? Niyahamba nami.
Yes.
Sidlela to nourish our bodies. Sidlela so that our bodies can function optimally. Ne?
Yes.
So whatever we put in will help our bodies to function optimally. Whatever you put in, whatever you watch psychologically, you listen to, you see, you look at, uyadla, is going to what? Affect your body. Ne? Remember, we are on not just the body, but there's also the mind part of it. The mind part of it that works together. So uzodla, uzobukela, or uzofunda, or uzoya in a certain place, that thing oyenzayo is going to make you who you are. Choices. What do you want to be? So if ngizokhuluma mangikhuluma ngithi use vulgar language, that's what I've fed my what? My mind. But out of the what? The abundance of the heart, your mouth speaketh. Awuvela ukhulume nje izinto ezinjani, but you were feeding your mind with that. What are we feeding our bodies with and our minds with? Ne? Okay. Let's go back to this. So, I think masqala topic yami it's lifestyle diseases, ne? It's nje lifestyle diseases and what choices? Okay, a balanced choice. Bese it's lifestyle diseases. So sikhuluma ngebalance. Sikhuluma ngechoice. Sikhuluma ngama lifestyle diseases. Ne? So I like making examples so that you understand what is it that I'm talking about when I talk about the triangle. Right. We are going to talk about high blood pressure. So I'm going to just talk about things that I commonly see, which frighten me. High blood pressure, I thought it was the side, but it's not. It's coming now, that side. Why are we having blood pressure early? And it's a lifestyle disease. Lifestyle is ukuthini? Indlela ophila ngayo. Ne? High blood pressure indlela esiphila ngayo. Yes, you've got genetics. We are not taking that away. We've got genetics. But ama genetics aqalephi? Lifestyle. Ne? Lifestyle, I decided to be obese or whatever. And then when I'm obese, we'll talk about obesity in a thingy. And then ngaba ne glucose intolerance. After lapho ngaba ne diabetes. Ne? Now I'm diabetic. I'm going to pass that. I'm making that gene now. I'm going to pass that gene to who? To my children. But it started where? Lifestyle. Ne? So when you are genetically predisposed to certain illnesses, it does not necessarily mean 100% you're going to get that. But it opens up your mind to say, yo, umamam no babam bane high blood, I might get it also. So I need to change. I need to live better. Right? So high blood pressure, yes. So high blood pressure, now you've got this. Lama pipe lawe ngathi hose pipe. Amanzi aya flow. Right? Aya flow amanzi. And akusi hose pipe eqine njenge hose pipe. Angithi it's very fragile. So aya flow amanzi. Ma flow amanzi, you need a certain pressure. Because if amanzi, okay, let me take a balloon because it's fragile. Ibaloon ngiyagcwalisa amanzi ayenzani? Asoloku athi, ne? Khona lo bona khona ukuthi hayi manje izobhamuka. So fanele nciphise ngamanzi. So blood pressure is like that. It's the pressure. It's the force inside the what? Inside the veins, ne? Inside the arteries. So pressure, uyayibona ukuthi all your organs have got that. Ne? They are supplied by these vessels. Now, the previous picture, sama lungs, your lungs, same thing. Your brain, same thing. Your eyes, ne? Your gums, your lips, your neck, everything is supplied by blood. Is supplied in a vessel is supply igazi to that organ so that it can move and function optimally. So now, blood pressure yakho, who knows what blood pressure is supposed to be? Normal values or ranges with blood pressure. No cheating. Blood pressure. Ithini? Hayi guys, angisese utishara manje sengiyashumayela hayi. Huh? Less than 90. Okay, we've got two values, right? We've got the bottom one, we've got the top one, we've got the bottom one. So the top one ithini? 120. Okay, so ayikho 120 per se. We've got ranges. It must be between this and that. So so the top one is supposed to be 90 to what? To 120, singathi 130 nyana. 130 asimthandi though. So let's say 90 to 120. And then the bottom one is what? Okay, oh, nice guess. Ne? So between 60 and 90. So if your blood pressure is less than 60, the bottom one, and the top one is less than 90, then blood pressure yakho injani iphansi. Ne? Then it's low. Ne? Then iphansi. So if your blood pressure is more than 130 over 90, then injani iphezulu. Right? But when we diagnose the blood pressure, we don't start with just one reading. You don't need one reading. Your emotions can make your blood pressure go up, right? So we don't use just one. So those are the ranges, the blood pressure yakho. Now, sithe lifestyle. Ne? Let me be technical. So you've got these cells. Ne? Masaka indlu. You've got this room. Okay, you've got this room and ama bricks, right? And a cement, and a manzi, enani, right? So your body is like that. It has all these small things. So if blood pressure, there's abo sodium, abo potassium, abo ini, that will make igazi lakho libe njani, libe at equilibrium. Your cells to be at equilibrium. So if we eat certain foods, zenzani, that cell ayisabi the way it's supposed to be. Let's say you take salt. What happens when you take salt? Sodium, iyadonsa. Izodonsa ini, even water, because it's trying to dilute. And then what happens? Your blood pressure goes up. Ne? So it's not magic, but it's what food does to us. Right? So that equilibrium yenzani, ayisabi right. So how do we control blood pressure? Si control njani? Is it controllable? Yes. Food. We were embarking on there's juice fasting. Eyenzwa ibandla lase So it's your veggies, it's your fruits, and udla lokho kuphela. So yona it's 40 days. Tina, we only did it for 10 days, ne? 8 days or so. We did that. Blood pressure from 150 something, well controlled on that. Well controlled. I even told the client to say, don't take your blood pressure medication. We are concentrating on this juice fasting, which consists of veggies and what? And fruits. And what happened? It was controlled. So we have these problems. We have these things. Ezenza, ama issues, but because of what? Of what we put in. Ne? Blood pressure, the complication yakhona is a heart attack. If it goes to your brain, it's a stroke. It's either you can bleed, ipamuge, or there will be no blood supply. But it's stroke, right? You can have eye problems. Ne? At times when you've got an optic nerve for ilihlo, iyapamuka, you won't be able to see. That's your blood pressure, right? You have the heart, we spoke about the heart. You have the kidneys somewhere here. Ne? If your blood pressure is not controlled, you're going to have kidney problems. Ne? We have veins somewhere there. You can even have venous ulcers, right? You can have amputation of your leg. So it's important to control those things. Say, understand? All right. Asiye kuleya diagram. Siyadlula ku blood pressure, ne? And then I want to talk about this organ. Oh. And then siyarasha kancane siye ku diabetes, ne? Diabetes nakhona, it's hereditary, but it does not mean you're going to get it, ne? So you have this organ. Ila. So it's here. It's called the pancreas. Ne? Ihlala la. Ngubani lo? Okay. Ihlala this side. So when you gain weight, khona le ozoyithola momncane, there's nothing you can do. That you really got it from your parents, right? But then you get type 2 le uyithola masowukhulile. It's because of your lifestyle, right? Now le organ la, you gain weight. Central obesity is the problem. Because the organ ikuphi? Ila. Amafutha apressa kuphi? Apressa la. Ayenza this organ ukuthi ingasebenzi. So when you eat your food, njoba sishilo ukuthi uyadla, you digest your food, kuya esiswini, makufika esiswini, kuba reabsorbed, ne? Bese kuya la kufanele kube khona. For you, ukuthi lokho kudla lokho. When we say glucose, it's not ushukela, but it's the food that you've eaten that is what digested now. So lokho kudla kuze kungene kuma organs. You need to open the door to those organs, ne? And the layer evula umnyango yini, it's insulin, right? So your insulin, because of the fat, is not working. You can't open the door properly. So all the food you've eaten, igupi, igu your blood vessels, but too sweet, ne? Uthe ugaja, nike nangkhotha nangizwa ukuthi sweet, ne? Literally, when we check your blood, there's sugar. When we check your urine, there's sugar. Because it's not going to where it's supposed to be. But ihlala kuphi la. And you lose weight, but you are eating. Because it's not going in. Because your insulin is not working. Because the pancreas is not working. Ne, understand? Ne? So we talk about what? Lifestyle. We say what? Lose weight. It's important. Especially central obesity. Ne? So if you have a family history of diabetes, please, you don't start masomdala, you will be predisposed to it, take care of your body. Right? Okay. Siyadlula ke, siyaphi. Oh. Yeah. 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 It can. Ne? So remember, ezinye ama predisposing factors. Ne? But it's not ukuthi vele uzoyithola. Right? And it does not mean if you are not also obese, you won't what? You won't get it. Because you still have the genetic what? Component of it. Ne? All right. So, management, zale zinto engikhulume ngazo yini? Lifestyle. Lifestyle modification. Ne? All right. Let's, pancreas, nae. Ne? All right, let's go back to which one? Okay. Let's go back to this one. Singabheki this one, but let's talk about the esophagus. A lot of people are coming with symptoms we ulcer or ngithi heartburn. Ne? Young people are getting that. Why are we having those symptoms? Ne? So physically, when you look at the esophagus, in a sphincter, like a valve, something like that. Ne? So your food is supposed to go in one way, ingabuyi, ne? Supposed to go in, bese kuyavaleka laphayana. But sometimes, because of what? Commonest. Ne? I'm talking about peptic ulcer or rabolontuzana. Commonest yini? NSAIDs. Amapilisi lawo esiwathandayo ama-brufen, ama-grandpa, aboma-indocid wamathambo owani. Ne? So when you have this layer kustomach sakho, you have this layer, right? Esi-protective, bese kuba ne-mucus lapho enza ukuthi the acid inside ingamoshi. But when you have your aspirin, you have your overdose of ama-NSAID, iyenza that layer to thin out. When it thins out, the acid is gonna what? Cause some ulcers lapho. Ne? You also have a bacteria, but H. pylori, which can cause that. Ne? But the commonest one is isitholayo esizweni sethu esinsundu yini ama-grandpa, nama-brufen, and all those things. Ne? So if you really need to take painkillers, really you must be in pain, guys. Like you don't have maybe you don't have that or really. But it's not something so when I saw pills. Ne? Because it has some side effects. So let's try and avoid those things also. Ne? And then stress. Ne? Stress also does that. Stress also does that. So let's talk about tension. So you start by having worry, you have tension, and then it builds up, and then it becomes your depression, right? Tension. A lot of young people have got tension. And the tension yabo, it can be what? Anxiety, panic attacks. We are getting a lot of those. Those are through just kancane, ne? And then we'll open the floor for questions, and I'll try to answer as much as I can. Ne? So, konje besikhuluma ngani anxiety, ne? We are seeing a lot of those. I have to write sick notes because some exams, I didn't submit my whatever. My exams, I have a deadline, I'm 17, my exams. Or somebody will come and say, I can't take it anymore. Admission to a wellness center. So we are getting a lot of people who are not coping with what is happening in their lives, right? So it's either work, it's either school, it's either children, it's either family issues, it's financial issues, it can be anything. But there's a level of stress somewhere. Whether by now that stress has become depression, it's possible, or it can even have psychotic features. La umuntu depression impacts such that sekabona izinto. Omunye umuntu can have depression as a mute and just decide to angakhulumi, angaseyenzi next. So we are seeing a lot of those. Ne? And I think as Christians we are the worst, because when I talk to somebody they will say, just pray. Ne? And you think, but I'm praying, why am I having depression? And we can't deal with it, we can't internalize it, we can't recognize it, because they're thinking maybe I'm not a good Christian if I am depressed. But it's happening, it is there. So stress becomes when there's an issue or you perceive as a threat or as a problem in your life, and you are not able to overcome that or solve that. And over a prolonged period of time, it does something to your body. So once your emotions are at tension or you have tension, then certain hormones in your body says you are in a state of flight or fight. Ne? So inflammation state. And if you have that prolonged, then it's going to cause problems in your health. And we are having that. Ne? So you are not able to solve your perceived, remember, very important, it's your perceived threat or problem that you have. And then you don't see a way around it. Or it's overwhelming you, and then beseyenza those emotions or that mindset, beseyenza physical or physiological changes in your body. And if it's prolonged, then it's a problem. So anxiety, when somebody comes now with anxiety, imimika like a heart attack. Ne? Somebody will come and saying, I'm having a chest pain, I can't breathe. And honestly, they have that. And you would come, ufike a casualty, siyagijima, you have that, do ECG, do that, do ama bloods, and you don't have anything, your results are fine. But I can't breathe. It's okay, relax, try and breathe. Try and breathe. And you try and breathe, and then we talk to you, and we found that you have a panic attack or anxiety. So it mimics a heart attack, right? And you really feel it. It's not good you don't feel it because it's a mental thing, but you really feel it and you really perceive it. So we are having a lot of those. Now, if we have depression and we have all those things, how do we cope? How do we cope? So, under anxiety and in PTSD, you had trauma of something, let's say an accident, and that thing keeps repeating, and you have symptoms as injalo. Because there was a trauma yenzakalile bese leyo izoba under PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, right? We have somebody uhamba nomntwana nomyeni wakhe umntwana uyadutshula umntwana uyashona. She couldn't cope. She had to get help. The husband also came later on. But it's things that happen. Bakubamba inkunzi iyayenzakala, and you have that trauma. You must rape, whatever it is, you have that trauma. So we have emotional things that happen in your life. We have children who have been neglected at home. We have children with no parents, no father figure, mother figure, whatever it is. And they have that trauma that they perceive, mina, why me? And it does something to them. So, but how do we deal with it? Ne? And I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Ne? But we have, I'm bringing the awareness, we have things like that, right? The commonest, what helps, if I can say that. Remember, you need a psychologist, ne? Or if you need drugs, I'm not a fan, you can go psychiatrist and they will teach you coping mechanisms. So we need to find and teach our kids coping mechanisms. Our kids don't know disappointment in life. They think izinto must always go in a certain way. And as they go along, you have failure or fail grade bani or a certain test. You cannot deal with that disappointment. And then isologienzani iya builder, right? You have this dream or what not to guti mina imali so. And for some reason, you end up in debt. And now you cannot deal with that because le boy picture boy cabanga and nala ukona the disappointment, you cannot deal with the disappointment. So it's a learned thing, and we need to teach that emakhaya, ebantwaneni, to say you will be disappointed. Life will not go the way you think it's going to go. You have somebody who's going to do a degree 3 years, somebody else 10 years. And the lawyers are 10 years, they feel like I'm a failure. But it's not. This is your journey. So it's something as a church that we need to teach. So that when they face that, they're able to deal with it. Ne? Our kids, they live in Pilo Yamanga. Ne? I think social media is just a manga. To me, it's like an advert. Ne? Ngila, but that's not real life. And now they want to be always on holiday. Your life must be a holiday. It's not. There's a time fanele uthathe iharavu ugubhe usebenze and work and really work. But we want quick fixes, we want easy things so that abantu bazobona ukuthi hey, and the pressure comes in because we want abantu. So it's things we need to teach as a church, as families, as a society. Ukuthi when I buy you a gift and you have a bag a 1 year gift, we say happy birthday. Don't go and take lawa last year, uwabeke la and take a photo and say for my birthday. That's a lie. And people do that. And that's the life that we are living. That's the life that the young people are living. And then izosifakela ini unnecessary pressure. Ne? So accepting where you are, accepting what your journey is taking you is amanyama steps that I can bring in to say this will relieve or help with things like about anxiety and depression. Don't wait for a deadline for you to do your work. Whatever your hands finds to do, you do it with all your might. So on a daily basis, you do your best. And your things will not pile up, right? With your finances, live within your means. If you cannot afford to go on a holiday, it's okay. Take your family near Pakini and have a lovely time. It's part of distressing also and ubegu nature. You don't need a holiday for you to have a good time with your family. So let's not live impilo yamanga your social media, but accept who you are. This is where I am. This is where I'm going. This is where I need to go. So you need to be temperate in everything that you do, right? And then we have substance. Now the children are involved in substance. Here's the substance. You have drugs, but you also have food. Substance. What a substance does is that when you take it, it makes you feel good for a short while. And you also have food that you eat that will make you feel good. Your chocolate, your ice cream, the cakes, the whatnot. They have that effect. And eventually they are what? They are addictive. As same as in your substances. Abanye, we might not be smoking, but we are busy namakeke and we have a problem in obesity. But in everything you need to be temperate. What smoking does, skulmenga vessels. Vessels are meant to be pliable. Vessels work with time they become stiff. Bese you have all these other problems. I'm not even talking about cancer. Because I think you know it. Smoking can cause cancer. But it goes deeper than that. It deals with your blood vessels. And we say your blood vessels are everywhere. You find somebody say, you cannot have kids. What happened? Simple thing. Because your la igazi fanele liflow khona kahle alisaflowi kahle and you cannot conceive, right? So it's a whole lot of things. Right? Okay. I think I've tried to cover as much as I can. So, new start. New start. N is for what? Nutrition. You are what you eat. Finish. Whatever you eat, is it going to heal my body or is it going to destroy my body? Be intentional about it. It's very important. UE for what? Exercise. Exercise is important. High blood, diabetes, people who want to conceive, exercise. Conceive, exercise. It opens up. And imagine you don't even need to pay imali eningi. You can do that at home, but you need that. It opens up your blood vessel. Nutrients lower, your body is overfilled with nutrients, with oxygen. It heals itself. It releases natural antidepressant. So when you are anxious, when you are depressed, when you have diabetes, it helps you. It releases natural antidepressants, right? So that a thing or you perceive it as a flight or fright. Now we are not there. Now you've got good hormones, feel good hormones. As natural, ongasitholi ngokudla. So you need to exercise, right? Who asks for what? Sunlight. S for sunlight. Sunlight yini? Ilanga. Ilanga lenzani? Yes, vitamin D. Vitamin D important in healing your body, kuma bones. It releases natural antidepressants. So you cannot be stuck in the office, futhi mina office lapho. Akuvulanga akunana nama window. It's one of those offices. Aircon. You can't. You need the sun, right? You need the sun, right? And then bese siguphi T. Temperance. Ne? Temperance. You can't go overboard. It just doesn't work. Whether it's healthy things or what. Fanele uzithibe. Fanele uzithibe. It was hard for us to go through diet, juicing lena. I mean, we missed chewing. Manje uhlafuna ke, you know. But what we got, there was loss of weight. I couldn't even feel because I've lost weight. I'm thinking, whoa, I did lose weight. You feel so light. Oh, your gut is beautiful. Ne? So you need that, ne? To be temperate. It's not easy, but you need to be temperate. And then bese sesguphi? A. What is A? Air. Ne? When you wake up in the morning, take deep breaths. Outside, fresh air. Open up your lungs. Ne? Have the oxygen flowing. Your metabolic rate will kick in. You need the air, right? Bese sguphi? R. Are we resting? We are too busy. We are too busy. Ngaxolela mawuthi okay, ama-exam, maybe I need to study more. Instead of having your 7 hours of sleep, you're having 3 hours. Singaxolela kancane kuma-deadline, but it can't be a daily thing. It can't be a daily thing because it's to your own detriment if you're not going to rest, right? And then yini? T. Yeah. Ne? Trust in God. I trust in God ivulela wonke izinto. Ivula everything. Because now you are this anxious person and he says, I am here and I will supply your needs. And you say, oh, okay, God, I don't see it, but I believe in it. And then you have this illness that you have and he says, I will heal you. And you trust him, Guti, he will heal from that. If it's good at that time, right? It just trust him. Just trust him. It really lowers your anxiety. It lowers lento ye pressure yokuthi ngifuna uvela ume kancane ukuthi no, not now. Angikho kule situation, and you trust the process and you trust God. And then yini enye? Hayi water. Why water singamshong? Ne? You need water. Yes, there's this W, you need water. Water cleanses your system. It cleanses your kidneys. The kidneys is a waste lontuzana. Ikipa konke loku ma drugs ama ina yaphuma yalaphayana, and it needs water to function. So you cannot say I am not drinking water. There is no way. Your whole body is about water. Ne? About 60 to 80% it functions on water. It's just water. So you really need water to clean out the system, to detox. Right? Okay. Asivulele nama questions ke sizamile ukubambalana la. Asivulele nama questions. Yo.
So Doc, the question in is around information. I don't know if the right way to ask this question, but so we are living in the age of information. You get information just from a click of a button. And sometimes that becomes a trap when you get the wrong information, which is disguised to be the right information. So example, and I'm sorry to do this, but we once had a presentation, and mama uye clinic diagnosed hypertension. But with the information that she has, no, I can't be having this. You know, the way I sometimes get into the trap where there's an agenda the health department is on to diagnose about. Let's take
Misdiagnose.
COVID. You know, there was lots of information and all of those. How would you advise, for our sake, would because of this information that is contradicting itself? Because mhlambe asitholanga from the right source. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I hear you.
Because many a times we are stuck where I think Bob Kontolishi like say, and I think the way it balances out. There is food that is meant for medicine. However, we have drugs that are also meant to be medicine. How do you balance the two so that you do not end up rejecting medicine outright because scientists, you know, natural way is the way. Yeah, it might complicate, but that's where my question is on balancing out the natural way, herbs and all of those things, coupled with Uguti, we've got medicine that, like you've said, as you were deliberating, Uguti, there's side effects, you know, and when we hear that term, we immediately want to rush towards herbs and have nothing to do with medicine. Where does this one feature? Where does this one feature?
Okay. I'll try and answer to the best of my ability. There's no black and white, right? Because when you have two doctors, you have a condition. We might not treat that condition the same way. We've went to medical school, we have done that, but we might not treat it the same way. If I am to start amapilisi with high blood pressure, we might not even start with the same pill. Because we as a doctor, you have guidelines, but you apply your mind to it. We spoke about choice, remember. So there are certain things, let's say you get TB. I don't know of herbs that can do that, but they are, because abantu homeopathy. But I've got anti-TB drugs that can cure it. You understand? So information one, I think we actually asked two things. Uguti, how do I Google and I say, I put in my symptoms, which is what we always get, and my symptoms say it's cancer. And that's the danger of Google. Because now we've got sites where when we go to our sites, medical sites, we know how to differentiate a lie and a lontuzan. But you guys don't know that. Yes, and we get abantu, because remember Google is okhuluma opinions wabantu, as much as the scientific what, and you won't know which is which. So I don't like Google, I'm sorry, when it comes to diagnosing. Because even when you come to me, I think I had somebody who said, no, umuntu pain what do I give? I can't do that. There are so many illnesses that you can get. And when I talk to you and I examine you, I will know what is happening. But I'll call just nje. Night diagnosis, so Google is so you really need a medical person to help you as you Google things, to direct you. And then AS2, ikhulume about the health system. So I think you will not well, most of the time you might say, let's say you treat STI. STI, I mean, guidelines are clear. Is this and that. But is it an STI? So you need somebody who is learned, who's going to reach a diagnosis here, STI, to say this is an STI. So we consult all the time is important. Talking about the high blood pressure have got so many pills. There are so many. So when you have a side effect, blood pressure medication, it causes that. We have another one that we can give you. But you must talk to us and tell us, ukuthi, I have this problem with this medication. Because you are your own person. You will not have the same reaction with the other person. So you always communicate. You don't usuke uhambe uthi hayi angisayiphuzi and go to somebody else. The doctor shopping iba a problem because now lo yoqala phansi maybe bakunikeze the same thing and you don't even know the name, you don't even know what. So you would rather go back and say, you know what, this is what. And write down your things to say, I've taken this is what it does. If you cannot write it, your children, grandchildren can write it for you. So that when you come to me, you say, okay, I've done this is what happens, and then we can move on and see and find a way how to do it. But guys, lifestyle is important. Even in high blood pressure. Ipilisi masifunda esikolweni. It is the last thing there. It is the last thing. Ne? And the masiqala ipilisi, you can even take up to 6 tablets, which is not nice. For something that can be managed. So when you come with an elevated blood pressure, we want to know what is causing that. Are you going through emotional problems? Because they also what? They also do that. Are you in pain? Maybe you have or something. It takes that blood pressure high. You can't just start because your blood pressure is elevated at that time. But we spoke about exercise, which is very important. It will lower your blood pressure. We spoke about food as lower your blood pressure. Oh, celery is not so nice, but it's good to help lower your blood pressure. So we've got food, which is meant to be a cure or to help ilontuzana. The pills that we have, it's not to cure, but it's to keep you taking it and keep it lapho. So to manage it, but not to cure it. But if it's a lifestyle disease, why can't we change our lifestyles and make the right choice so that it can be reversible? There are patients who are not on high blood pressure medication. I had to stop to say, hey, look at that. I'm like, oh, is it? So in the example, you cook your gravy. Okay, we need papa, inyama, gravy, veg, right? Papa ufaka itswayi, gravy ufaka itswayi, wafaka beef stock, wafaka soup, wafaka ibheni or whatever it is. Inyama ufake your spices. It can't be. Like it cannot be. Have your pap without salt. Have your gravy, you've got herbs, you've got garlic, you've got ini. You can have that. And just for taste kancane, you can faga kancane. You have meat. We are not supposed to. Unayo, but you cannot now. Ufage your marinade, ufage your tswayi, ufage your beef. Hey, aye. Mauthanda yellow. You've got turmeric, which is healthier than what le elontuzana. Tina, I think when I was at medical school, we never used to have these cancers as in but now because sesidla yonke into, sidla ma KFC, uzuqhome nge-KFC, ucabanga ukuthi something good. We have this. We are getting young people with amalontuzana, cancer. It's because of what? The food. It's because of the food. So we are in trouble. If you're not intentional with your food, you're not intentional with water, you're not intentional with exercise, resting and everything, then you're going to be in trouble. And we have it. Tina, we have it. Bebayenza ilontuzana ngeloma linda back then, ukuthi people who ate the food they used to eat, who went to that congregation, immortality yabo, they lived longer. They lived longer. Yes. But now, every day nyama, it can't be. If you can't get nyama, but reduce, at least. But it can't be a daily thing. It can't be. We are going to be in trouble. I think I saw your hand.
Yeah, without comment and
okay.
Mina in the space I've seen so many people who are alarmists. The information is all the time. It's not only about the COVID situation. Abanye babo manje bakhuluma ngokunye is Holy Spirit God. Uyabheka uyamthola nalapha uyamthola. Ingathi nje okunye mina abanye angisafundi ngiyaxolisa. Mangazi ukuthi yilo it's more or less the same ukuthi uzothola umuntu ogulayo. Asitholi i-prescription ethi ngena ukulungele ukuba ku-social media alarmist things. Uhlala uthukile njalo. You are always opposing something. Bakhona abantu abanjalo umntana bafundile. Now imagine if isonto lithembele kuloyo muntu. Kuzoba nzima. Because for whatever reason, asimdiagnose ngisho. Mhlawumbe there are underlying causes. Abafundele lokho bangakubona bese bayakulekelela. But because we are mixed here, and then we want to take everyone at their word. Imvamisa yesikhathi, it's because we can't even balance the information because we don't read for ourselves. Ulwazi lwethu luqubuka umalisuswayo umunye umuntu making a statement direction engathi ihlakaniphile. Kanti wena uma ngabe uyayifunda leyo nto uzothi cha lento ngiyibonile ube wabona bafake i-post eyenzeke 9 years ago. Bafake ama-floods abantu bayafa. Bathatha umfula uhamba ne-takes. Hayi lento yakudala. Bayifaka manje. Wena uyasuka. Isifo sika-Piet Retief. Ibhunu elinye la, uthi uPiet Retief wabulawa udinga. Ibhunu lizwa leyo ndaba last week ePitoli. Nangoku ufuna ihashi. Uthatha isibhamu uyofuna udinga. Into yayini. So yonke lento lena fanele sihlale se. But into critical. Let us be on our toes. Sicabange ukuthi yini okunye okungenzeka. Ngajobelela ngokunye manje. Dokotela. Ngazi abanye abantu umndeni wabo uhlepuke phakathi. Isalukazi sine-dementia. Sithi isalukazi mabesibuza sithi angaze nidle nje. Soloko. Soloko kusile. Umakoti ukhona. Abodade wabo abantwana bakamama baxabane nomakoti. Up until umama avakashele indodakazi. Afike lapha yana umkhwenyana kamama. Uyafika mama ninjani cha ukhona mntana ngibulawa yindlala. Awu wena njengoba bowudla khona manje indaba ukuthi ubulawa yindlala. Kuqambe khona lapho abavuleka amehlo ukuthi no. Kukhona into isalukazi esigulwa yiyo. I-dementia. Manje fanele kwakheke kabusha ubudlelwano. Siyaxolisa ukwenza umuntu omubi. Sesizibonele thina ngawethu amehlo ukuthi kunjani. Kuba nzima sometimes. Nezinye izingxabano esibanazo. Masingasheshi ukuzifaka ezimpendulweni zalezo zinto. Noma sajaha ukwenza singafica senza amaphutha.
Dementia. Oh, it's another topic. Uthole bathi hayi ugogo uliqoki. And it's not nice, ne? But they forget ukuthi they ate. They forget what they said, ne? Not ukuthi necessarily ukuthi bakhuluma amanga, ne? But yeah. Buti. Okay. So there are few signs. One, mood. Siqala ngemood. Ne? He always said, more than your normal mood, you are just depressed. Mood yakho is low, right? Insomnia, awukwazi ukulala. Abanye abantu abakwazi ukulala, abanye abantu balala too much. So it can be ngapha or ngapha, ne? And then loss of appetite or increased appetite, ne? Abanye badla kakhulu, abanye abadli at all, ne? Fatigue. you're always tired. You're always tired. Noma uvuke ekuseni, it's just, it's a hassle for you to get out of bed. Ne? And then, yini ngikhohlwayo futhi? I think those are the major ones. I think I'm forgetting one. Khohliwe ukuthi yini. But those are the major ones. Ne? Huh? Yes, ne? Because you're always tired. You've lost interest, yes. Losing interest, mabahamba bayaguphi, you always want to be alone. So you don't want to be with people. And then ukhathele, awusaperform emsebenzini, concentration. You can't even concentrate. Ne? You're tired, you can't concentrate. So yeah, it's those. Ne? Yeah. Irritability, you can also be irritable. So ufuna ukushaya abantu so wenzani wena so nenhliziyo encane, ne? You can also have suicidal ideations, ufisa ukufa or ukuzibulala, those things also. Ne? Wokhuluma gogo.
I didn't hear the question.
Uthi ubona kanjani ukuthi une depression? Ukuthi une depression uzobona kanjani?
Oh, okay.
Ehe, so bengi-explaina lokho ukuthi ubona kanjani. Ehe. Buti? Yo, yazi ngifundile about that. Ngikhohliwe ukuthi batheni. Ngikhohliwe yazi. But it's a phenomenon, ne? Yokuthi abantu benza, it's not just ukuhlikihla amazinyo, but there's something happening. I just forgot. Ukuthi konje. Yeah. It's a mental thing that happens and they do that. But awaphela amazinyo. So you must deal with the mental enzakalayo ukuthi kuze kube njalo. It's just that I forgot ilontuzana yakhona, the phenomenon yakhona. Mara awaphela amazinyo. Okay. You were asking how do we help abantu with depression? You always refer to a healthcare worker. Always refer. Remember, depression is not only emotional. Ne? You also have certain illnesses, conditions, right? Ne? Ezenza ukuthi ube depressed, ezenza ukuthi ube obese, ezenza certain things. So when we take bloods, we're able to say, do you have a thyroid problem? Do you have a cortisol problem? Do you have this? Do you have that? So it's not just a simple thing which you are depressed. What is causing that? You must find that. If it's emotional, then you need your psychologist, you need your psychiatrist, you need psychotherapy. If then it's physiological, we need to know which hormones are not okay. They're not balanced or whatever is high, whatever is low, and then we can do that, and then we can manage that. Ne? So it's not, medicine, biology is not that simple, but you need somebody who will be able to find out what is happening. Ne? That's all, Angiti. We tried to cover most of these things.
This one is, I think, for another platform, but since you're on the spot, but not only to you, to the many heads that are here. Oh, sorry. So I've got a challenge, and I've been voicing it out, here and there. And it's not only when it comes to health, but even education, for instance, and stuff. We always say Adventism has all of these things, but we do not have anything to show. We've got many doctors, got many nurses. We don't have even a single clinic. We've got many teachers. We do not have schools. They are shutting down. What is it that needs to happen for us to go to the knowledge? All of this information, all of these books, apply, because you find, I think we were saying this the last time we were talking health. It is not just physical health, but there's a whole lot of other things. And you go to a clinic, and Maya at clinic, you've got this nurse who attends to you, but this nurse, believer, you know. So there seems to be knowledge, we brag about it, we post about it, but somewhere, somehow, And like I'm saying, just putting you on the spot here, since we're talking health, in your perspective, Nabanya Abala, is there anything that can be done now to actually get to a point where we have those facilities as a, which will also work to spreading the gospel in general, if I may?
Okay. Buti wafuna uko?
ingxenye enye ngicabanga ukuthi singayithatha ngakwazi ukuyikhulumisa. You know about our stresses lapha esontweni. And you know why, for example, ukhona i-Alberton, ukhona ini. You know those issues. Okokuqala, for too much and too long a time, amalungu thina, we've been timid to raise izinto eziphathelene nentuthuko yethu njengabantu abamnyama. Angazi why fanele kube njalo, kodwa it has taken too long for amehlo ethu ukuthi avuleke. La eSophia Town besinesibhedlela inokuphila sabantu abamnyama bamasabatha. We-training hospital, i-trainer amanesi futhi. Kwisibhedlela esidumile. Safa. Yeah. Safa. Inokuphila. Ikiyona inokuphila. Safa lesibhedlela. No substitute was ever made. But when you read izincwadi zethu nenkolo yethu, before we preach, we heal.
Amen.
We attend to their needs. And once we have attended to their needs, then we preach. The impact yenkolo yesisala and the faith esikholelwa kuyo inzima for an ordinary person ukuthi angeza zochitha usuku lonke njengoba sihleli. Kunzima to bring it together. It's 1 hour and it's done. It happens once a week and then they are done with it. Bhenga thina singeleni. Siyophuma ntambama singahle siyongena enye inkonzo futhi basuka. Kodwa isitayile sokufundisa sihlukile. Izincwadi ku-Ellen G. White eziningi zazo ezidumile ezweni yilezo ezikhuluma ngezinto abantu abahlupheka ngazo. Illness, seeking education, and all of these other things. Kungeneka lula ebantwini ngezinto ezinjalo eziwunceba. Imagine, I'm not putting you on the spot, Dorothy. Kodwa ngiyacabanga ukuthi lo umama ohleli naye laphiyana uzokudonsa athi yazi sengifuna ke manje ukuthatha i-approach ehlukile to make this school some clinic of some sort, once in 3 months or once in whatever time. That is the medical expo. When we call in these guys, it's best. Ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi inkulumo ngaphandle lapha le clinic uncedo alitholakala, imali zotholakala ama-queues made, fanele ungalali, obunye uzokuthola uncedo lapho, obunye fanele uthathe i-file uye kwenye indawo. At another cost, at another time. Yindaba singathi thina la sizofocusa kule ngxenye nale ngosi yomsebenzi. And also amaPakistan namaNdiya awathengi kwabanye abantu. Bathenga kwabo la ngaphakathi. Uyamdlula udokotela owazi izimo zenkolo yabo. Uyongena komunye ethe kujova lapha uyezwa umuntu isekerete ubhema khona manje. Uma engakakazi ukuthi ingozi yesekerete iyini empilweni yomuntu, umthemba ngani ngaloko kunye? So such things must ngaba i-community yabantu abaxhasa labo abasikhasayo, whether utishera noma yini extra class noma ngani, asinayo leyo nto esingayakha because it is not impossible. Mina since after lezi ngabantu esibenazo enkonzweni ngoba ngihamba kakhulu, I have seen abantu sebeqalile ukudrawa ama-synergies. Kunabantu abalimayo etawuni, banamasimu namaplazi, amakhabe abo, isivuno sabo siyafika kana amasabatha siyathenga, abanye baseBotswana nabo bayathenga ngoamalori amakhulu, amaplaza amakhulu. Cabanga-ke uma singathi cha makwamakhabe, amakhabe ethu azoqhamuka etawuni. Lokhu nalokhu nakho konke okunye esingakwenza. Your thoughts are refreshing. I wish they can be said at a platform la sidibana khona njalo. Yabona nje siyadibana. Masidibana siyashare. Kunjani phela mina ngiphethe lo, mina ngiphethe lo. Kune camp isdasa yazi ngiyaya nami yohloma. I'm going to be displaying my words and sharing my knowledge. And yonke leyo nto leyo will deepen isimo sethu sithole sesingele imoto. We have ourselves, nobody else. Sengibonile.
I think we are not good stewards. That's all I can say. Apha mafamu wethu anjani kwenzakalani, you know. So yeah, it's deeper. In closing, I just want to read 3 John 1 verse 3. 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that you mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. Ne? So God wants us to prosper physically, mentally, in all aspects of our lives. In all aspects. But we have a choice to make. Ne? I think we have been given tools, we have been given the knowledge, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Am I going to take it? Am I going to reduce fatty food? Am I going to reduce amakeke, refined thingies? It's your choice. You have to make a conscious choice. I might say nokubonga so akwade. Maybe usafosteka usesemncane. But makale esikolweni udlani. Is she drinking Coke that we call poison at home? Ne? Are you eating ikota leyana nengulube that we don't eat at home? But each and every one of you guys, you have a choice to make in the lifestyle that you want to live. I mean, masibheka ubaba umkhonto. Uthona ngakhi? Ne? Amara putuna 72 vele. You know, and then my mother is 70, she turned 70 this year. And you look at abantabana 70. You look at you choose. Do you want to ukungena ku 70 uhamba so, or do you want to hamba ka so? It's up to you. Yes, we are going to die because some say my doctor said I must eat healthy and die healthy. Exercise and die healthy. But do you want to die so when I'm operation 100? So ungasakwazi ukuphefumula uhlala ku oxygen. You choose. It's about longevity at the end. So choose ukuthi 70 yakho izoba ka so na. Ne? So tina we aspire. I'm working now. Office lami lisa 4th floor, angisathathi elevator. It's those small things. Those small things that you can do to help yourself. Ne? Sesithengile lamabhodlela lawa wethu abhaliwe morning what is those small steps. Making sure that you read proper things, you stimulate your mind. You know, it's those, but it's a choice. And I pray and I hope that you will make the right choices. Because if in ngondo yakho, we are not sober, the food we are eating and the things we are doing, we are not sober-minded. Ne? We need to be sober so that we can fight against Satan. But we won't even see into wrong because we are not sober. Sigcwele coke engqondweni, sigcwele juice, ama-fruits, ama-cake, sigcwele lezo zinto lezo. That will clog our mind. Ispice lesi sizidlayo. Siyenzani kwigazi lakho. Ne? So sigcwele lokho and we are tired, we are sick, we can't work for God because we can't even think properly. Awukwazi concentrate esikolweni because of the food that we are eating. We have Shadrach, Meshach, it's not a myth. It's not a myth. It's not a myth. If we can do that, if we can do the proper things, we will prosper. And we'll be able to go out there and tell people about the love of God and His second coming. Thank you.
Dokotela uthi se-fourth floor kuphi?
It's called Dr. GMPG Day Hospital under clinics at Joburg. Niyazi ngiyayisaba, but we've got a parking. You can, it's a safe parking there. I'm there, 5th floor. Ne?
Kulaphi?